Okay, so we're about to start our beer unit, which means we're going to have to prep some bottles or cans and make them look spectacular and delicious. Right, you've all seen those wonderful shots, whether it's a Coca-Cola or a Pepsi or a Sprite or whatever have you, and they've got the great water droplets on it. They look cold and refreshing. Well, I'm going to show you how to do that today, because you don't use real water. Real water comes out flat, it runs on you, you have no control over it, you get big droplets that don't really look like droplets. It's, you can really tell, and your product doesn't look refreshing. So, here's a bottle that I did for Corona. I actually did this in class last year. You can see on the neck of the bottle all the water droplets. Well, these droplets have all dried, and they're nice and hard, and they're easy to use. You can handle the bottle as much as you want, not worry about it getting sticky or your water droplets moving around, and it's lasted a year, right? This is the method I'm going to teach you, so you can make water droplets that are manageable on set, so that you don't have accidents where the water goes the wrong way, or the client suddenly goes, yeah, that bottle looks great, and then you put your hand on it and the water droplets are gone, or your assistant puts your hand on it. So I've got that bottle, and the bottle I'm going to spritz today is this one. This is the actual bottle from all the Corona ads, and the difference is, let's see if I can show you this. If you look in this one, which is a regular Corona bottle, and I turn it, and you look inside the logo there, you can see that shining through is a white barcode, whereas I do this one, there's no barcode. So the regular bottle still has the barcode, but by one for photo shoots, I sanded the barcode off. Now that sounds great. Apparently I'm the first photographer ever to do that. The client was just like, oh my God, you're a magician. I sanded it off, which leaves all these scratches, which bothered me. So to get rid of the scratches, I then frosted the back of the bottle. And to do that, I use a couple of different products. Both come from high-end art supply stores, both made by Krylon. My favorite is this one, removable dulling spray, because it's removable. And you put this on at the very end, just before you're about to shoot. Now this stuff's fantastic for a lot of different things. I've done a lot of Lay's chips, and if any of you have ever had a Lay's chip, you know that the bags are shiny. You ever try and shoot a shiny bag? It is nightmare upon nightmare. Originally when I landed Lay's, the way we were doing it was they were getting custom color-corrected bags made. And these bags were about $1,000 each, and they came in a matte finish. So the lights didn't bounce all over off them, and then we would just fill it with paper towel and it would look great. Then they decided, well, $1,000 a bag, every time we change the logo, every time we change a flavor, geez, we're getting up into $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a year in bags. Can't you just fix it in post? Or can't you light it so that it's not shiny? Because that's the way light works. But again, without telling them how I did it, I spray their bags with dulling spray. It's totally transparent. It just takes a shiny object and makes it perfectly matte. And then at the end of the shoot, I can wash it off because it's removable. Now, for beer glasses, I actually prefer matte finishing spray because it's a little thicker and looks a little more frosted. And sometimes I'll frost the whole glass with this. This is permanent though, so you can put the spritz on top of it. You can't put the spritz on top of the dulling spray, it'll wipe off. And then the dulling spray gets all runny and it looks like hell. So you can put water droplets on top of this. So if I ever get a glass or something where they want the glass to be frosted, I will frost it with a matte finishing spray. Okay. Other tricks to put water droplets on, and to get this beautiful finish. You could go out and get this stuff. So a little nasty highlight on that. It says it's Aqua Gel, and it's by Trend Grove Studios. I bought this back in the late 80s for a Coca-Cola project. You can see there's a fair amount left in it. I didn't have to use too much. Where we wanted just a few droplets and we wanted to run the droplets. And this stuff is fantastic for that. I haven't used it since. It was $120. So, wee bit expensive. Snow or ice. You've seen products that have ice chips stuck to the side, or they have snow in front. Yeah, I'm not using mashed potatoes for my snow. I don't know what YouTuber thought that was a thing, because that's not a thing. Again, Trengo Studios, they have snow powder, and then they have ice chips, and you mix it with water and you can play around with it. My favorite though is this one, which is ice powder. So ice chips, snow powder, ice powder. They're all slightly different. This one was 60 bucks back in the early 90s. It's still in great condition. You can see I've hardly used any, because you hardly do use any. Like, these are grains of sand, but every one of these grains of sand, depending on the amount of water you add, they could grow to be an inch by an inch. So you only need, like, 10 or 20 little grains, and you add some water. The more water you add, the icier it looks. So you can get it to look like you can make ice cubes out of it if you had to. The less water, the snowier it looks. And if you put too much water and you just leave it, it will dehydrate back into its original form. Which I keep the stuff that's dehydrated back into in a different container, and I have used it more than once, but it does go bad. Once you've used it once, it has a shelf life, but up until then, it's still great. So this is a great product. Trengo Studios. These guys are still around. They make a lot of different stuff. They make this snow crap that goes on your window at Christmas that you do little angel shapes or whatever, and then your kids come along and go and wreck it. Yeah, they do that. There's that. The other thing you can use to make water droplets, let's get rid of these, is you can use glycerin from the drugstore, right? It's about $7 for a little bottle like this. So one little bottle will probably do a few of these bottles. You put it on one droplet at a time, bigger droplets, little droplets. You micromanage your droplets. That's not the way I like to work. I use glycerin for sweat on people. So in fashion shoots, I did a Nike shoot one time where the girl was wearing this new dry fit outfit thing, and she had to look like she'd worked out so hard. She was sweating like crazy. So we sprayed her down, and then we put water droplets all over her face and her neck and everything, and all, so that she looked super sweaty. The clothing had water on it to make it look sweaty, but the actual face, we use glycerin. Glycerin's a topical ointment for skin, so it just goes right into your skin, but it will sit there for a little while, and it makes great tears and stuff like that. What I prefer is this. Lily White corn syrup. So get the Lily White, do not get the Lily Brown, because the Lily Brown will give you brown water droplets, and nobody wants to be pulling their beer out of a brown cooler full of whatever water. Like, who knows what the hell where that sewer water come from, right? So get the white. And all you're going to do is you're going to mix this with water, you're going to spray it onto the bottle, and after a number of days of drying, it will dry so that it's handleable, right? So for me, I like 2 to 3 days to prep a bottle for a photo shoot. I know you're going, holy shit, 2 to 3 days. Oh my God, I don't have that kind of time. Well, you do, if you're, proactive and pre-plan and know what's going on. If you're in a hurry, because I have had clients come to me last minute and go, hey, can you do this quick shot? I could probably do this in about 2 hours and do an acceptable job. High-end pro job for billboards, I want 2 or 3 days, but I can do an acceptable job in a couple hours. So we're going to do the 2-hour method. This is not going to be a 2-hour video though. I'm going to show you the Reader's Digest version, and you're on your own. So the first thing we do is we have to prep the bottle to accept our solution. Because if you just spray it on the bottle or the can as is, it won't bubble up. So the way you get it to bubble up is you put some lubricant, silicone lubricant on it. So this is just MotoMaster silicone lubricant. Get it in the auto section at Canadian Tire. Last time I checked, it was like $5. This can will last you 15 years. I had a little shoe one that lasted me almost 20 years, and I do hundreds of bottles, right? I mean, in the last few years, I've probably done 30, 40 bottles, but there was a time when I was doing hundreds of bottles a year, and I had lots of this stuff. So the way you do it is you got this, and you want to put it on this bottle. But you don't want to spray it directly on the bottle because it'll leave too much and it won't be evenly put on. So I also have a can here and a Coca-Cola bottle. So this product, I've already sprayed it on because I like to wait 45 minutes for this to dry. Right, so 45 minutes, I did this about an hour ago. So we should be good. So spraying it on, I use a nice clean piece of photocopy paper. Don't use a piece of paper that's scrap that is out of the newspaper or has printing on it, because the ink might run and then it'll be all over your product. And there's nothing worse than, you know, this lovely silver logo. This is just club soda. I don't drink Coors Light. Don't tell the Coors Light people because I still shoot for them. But it's my mimicking of a Coors Light, right? Silver. And so, you know, if you wipe this with a piece of paper that's got ink on it and get ink stains on this, the client's not going to be so happy. So here's how you do it. Simple. Do it outside. I'm going to do it in the house because my wife's not home and I'm too lazy to move the entire setup. Put a little bit on your paper, right? There we go. And then let it sit for a second and then just wipe it all over this. There, that one's done. Just sit it aside. This one's done. Sit it aside and then throw that in. Okay, now I want to let those wait for 45 minutes, but you guys don't want to sit here and watch me, you know. So we'll spritz this one because it's all ready to go. I've already done the waiting. So the corn syrup mixture is 1 part corn syrup to 3 parts water. Okay, 3 to 1. So I've got some water here. I've got another little measuring thing over here. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some of this into here and some water into there. Oh, look, it's already done. Magic. It's like magic. Make sure you stir it up really good, right? Because remember, it's corn syrup and water. So stir it so it's consistent, so it's the same consistency. You don't want chunky corn syrup and water. I use little spritz bottles that are, you know, deep cold and whatever the hell this was, for cuts and burns, whatever that was. This is my favorite, the little one, because I have more control with it. So I suggest trying to find these little travel size spritz bottles, right? So this is, you know, I've had this for years. This one's already got stuff in it, so I'm not going to spray it. Now, you see I've covered this paper. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see a little better what I'm doing. I've covered this with paper. You don't want to... The last thing you want to do is spray this on your table at home. Because if you spray it on your table at home, it's going to stick. And when it sticks, it dries rock hard like this. And then it's going to be a nightmare to get off. Right? So don't spray it at home. Put a piece of paper. Here you can use newsprint. I just happen to have some seamless hanging around. And then build yourself a little tent so that you can keep the spray within. Alright? Now, when spraying it, you do not have to spray the back of the bottle. Right? You only have to spray the front of the bottle. And all I'm going to do is make sure my sprayer works. And put some on. Spin it a little bit. Make sure you do the sides of the bottle. So I'm going to tell you one thing. I didn't wait long enough for the lubricant, the silicone to dry. There's 2 things I did wrong on this. I didn't wait long enough for the silicone to dry, so you can see the water droplets have all run. You can see there's still some good water droplets, but they've run. That's because I didn't wait. You need to wait 45 minutes to an hour. I'm going to show you one other thing. I'll show you with this bottle. One other thing you got to think about when doing water droplets is, where do water droplets happen on a bottle? Do they happen all the way up? they usually happen only where there's liquid. So in a bottle like this, and I didn't do it on that one, I forgot to do it on that one. Usually I guess where the liquid's going to be and put tape so that when I go to spritz it, I don't get any spritz on the top. That way there's no spritz in an area that wouldn't have spritz. It's just some of the things you got to think about is where should the spritz be, make sure you cover that off, make sure you block off areas that shouldn't have spritz on it. The rest of the bottle you're good to go. This one will probably spritz nicer because it's been a year. I could add a fresh coat to it. The other one didn't spritz it well at all. The nice thing about this is, okay, that job is terrible. However, I can just go and wash that off. Comes right off. Reapply the silicone, wait 45 minutes to an hour, and start over. I have done that on a photo shoot before, on more than one actually. So I want little bigger droplets. If I do it hard, I'm going to get mist. I don't necessarily want mist, I want water droplets. And that should do it. Okay, that's it. So that's the technique. That's how you get your water droplets to look fantastic on your bottle. Now I would like to wait overnight before I shoot this, but if I can't wait overnight, I just have to be super careful, put the beer back in it, make sure it looks great, don't touch the front, don't let anything touch the front, be really, really careful. Remember, there's no droplets on the back, so I can move it around using the back. Alright, there you go. Any questions?